With only 1 in 4 Africans having access to electricity, it's no wonder that Africa is sometimes still referred to as the dark continent. One product and ingenious device that hopes to change all of this is the little sun. And here to talk about it is Olafor Eliasson, artist behind the device. Olafor, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, as statistically, as I said, only 1 in 4 Africans at the moment have access to electricity. How is the little sun planning to change this statistic?
Well, having no electricity is not just about not having light and energy, it's also about health. And the fact is, when you sit next to a kerosene lamp, it's incredibly unhealthy. It's the equivalent of smoking 40 cigarettes if you're doing homework the whole night. Which means suddenly this, of course, is both about having light, but it's also about health and of course, education. And what it does is, this is a solar panel, and with 4 hours of charging, not directly sunlight on a grey day as well, it gives you 5 hours of 10 times more light than a kerosene lamp. Of course, the thing is here, it charges 1,000 times, and that gives you almost 3 years. So this one object gives you 3 years of light, and it's much, much cheaper than kerosene.
Because that was going to be my next question. The reason why kerosene is so popular on the African continent is the affordability factor. When it comes to pricing the little sun, how is it manufactured and what will it be retailing for on the continent?
So we are working with something which is affordable, but we also need to deliver quality. This means that it actually can lay in the sun and charge without a crumple after 3 months. So we have hit a wholesale price of $5.50, and we hope to attract retailers who can see a business opportunity in this. This, of course, we would say should sell about $10, maybe $11, $9. This still makes it very competitive compared to kerosene. We're 10 times cheaper than kerosene. And you have to see a small, let's say, family unit, maybe 400 members, they spend around $10 on kerosene in a month. And what I'm trying to achieve is them to understand, well, if they pay 1 month's worth of kerosene, they get 3 years of light. And of course, that releases a lot of other money. And that other money makes it, I think, quite attractive, because suddenly you have a situation where after 1 month, you might send the youngest child to school for the money that you would normally have spent on kerosene. So it's really about the infrastructure of a family, and it's about, to be honest, it's about happiness and life.
You mentioned that you are trying to get retailers and wholesalers involved, but there's also an entrepreneurial side to things, getting people on the continent to buy into the concept and to maybe sell it as an entrepreneurial endeavor.
The way I look at it, this is both functional, but it is also spiritual. It is about happiness and it's about joy. And we need to create a product and a sort of statement which goes beyond the sort of need for light. It's also really about understanding that, we want to create a situation where you are happy with the light you have. So the light that you get from a kerosene lamp, it's also somehow a burden, and it's a burden with money and something. So the business opportunity lays in also understanding this is not just an African, this is not relief, this is not aid, this is a global product. This is something that everybody in the world wants, whether they are in-grid and off-grid. We have made a lot of effort in designing it in a way so that it's not something that typically comes from the West and then into the continent as if the West knows something better. We started out working with an idea, and we realized very fast we have to develop it here. So we've been testing design functionality for 2 years almost, primarily in Ethiopia, to get to something where we feel, wow, this is both something a child which is 13 years old likes, but also a woman who's 45, she would wear that in the daytime and say, wow, it's great. It's almost like a piece of jewelry.
And we are, of course, here at the World Economic Forum in Addis Ababa. What has the feedback been amongst your peers and the attendees of the conference?
The feedback has been very good, especially, to be surprising, the finance sector is very interested in this. So that gives us a clue that business opportunity is inside of this. We have had banks contact us because they need to kind of understand and they are thinking about the numbers behind this. And now we finally met some retailers, and they are now thinking about how to get it from the harbor container up to the end user. And of course the issue is the profitability on the last mile. That's why we need to figure out the sort of local end price. And the last mile is obviously where the success lays, right? The end user is our criterion.
Wonderful. We look forward to seeing the rollout of the little sun on the African continent and also in the rest of the world.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.